Federal Drive is presented by GEHA, Government Employees Health Association, proudly providing health and dental benefits to federal employees and their families. Visit GEHA.com.
A new semester-long program is giving 75 students hands-on experience with advanced AI tools used in defense and cybersecurity. The AWS Generative Artificial Intelligence training aims to prepare cadets and civilian trainees for careers in national security. Jamie Cogbill, Deputy Director of the Defense Civilian Training Corps at Virginia Tech's National Security Institute, is here to fill us in on the details. Mr. Cogbill, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks so much for having me, Terry.
Virginia Tech has just launched a generative AI training program. Tell us about what the program is and why you decided to start it now.
Okay, great. Well, this partnership between Virginia Tech and Amazon Web Services is really about preparing the next generation of national security leaders for an AI-driven world. As one of our nation's 6 senior military colleges, Virginia Tech has had the chance to pilot AWS's new generative AI training, which is the first of its kind, before it's rolled out nationwide, or at least to the other senior military colleges. And it directly supports the recent White House call to make senior military colleges hubs of AI research and talent development. And our cadets are already finding it incredibly valuable training as they prepare to lead in a defense environment that's rapidly being transformed by artificial intelligence.
You know, there's a lot of AI courses out there. What sets this collaboration apart? What's unique in terms of content or focus or tools?
Okay, well, this is the first generative AI training program of its kind offered specifically at senior military colleges, and it directly supports the recent White House AI Action Plan, which was released last July, which calls on senior military colleges to become hubs of AI talent and innovation. And our cadets are getting hands-on experience with the same AI tools and problem-solving approaches that are being used in real defense and intelligence missions.
You mentioned cadets a couple of times here. For folks who may not know that Virginia Tech has a Corps of Cadets, tell us a little bit about that and how many cadets are actually taking the course.
Okay, so yes, Virginia Tech is, as I mentioned, is one of 6 senior military colleges, which means that they have a Corps of Cadets, just like, Virginia Military Institute or the Citadel, or our closest comparison is Texas A&M. There's currently close to 1,400 cadets in the Corps of Cadets at Virginia Tech, but for this first pilot, it was offered to a total of about 75 students, and the intent was that at least half of them be cadets. And in this case, it was. We had about 38 total cadets that participated in the program.
And who filled the other seats?
The other seats were mostly people who are affiliated with Virginia Tech's National Security Institute, which is a hub for defense-related research, but also for preparing future national security leaders here at Virginia Tech. And so the advertisement went out to both cadets and to the students who are affiliated with Virginia Tech's National Security Institute.
It sounds like you didn't have any trouble filling the seats. What does that tell you about the interest in this topic from future military and civilian defense leaders?
There's definitely a huge interest. And our cadets who I talked to after the training just found it to be very valuable for them with, just learning about AI in general, because they know it's going to be an important part of their future careers, but also learning how to use it more effectively through effective prompt engineering and other methods that they learn throughout the training.
Talk to us about some of the specific defense AI applications that you're covering in this course. I mean, we all think about ChatGPT and Copilot, but how are those topics specifically coming across in defense-related issues?
That's a great question, and I don't know the exact answer to that, but I can say that it's teaching the core Amazon Gen AI services, which is something they call Amazon Bedrock, which the Department of Defense has partnered with Amazon Web Services in a lot of ways. So is likely already using some of these AWS services. And so some of the people who are participating in the training will likely go into defense or national security related careers and already be expected to use or quickly learn how to use AWS software and AI tools. But I think the big takeaway is just learning AI in general, which is clearly going to be part of their future in national security and defense.
I'm speaking with Jamie Cogbill. He's the Deputy Director of the Defense Civilian Training Corps at Virginia Tech's National Security Institute. Well, we talk a lot about AI on this program and all of its different applications. One thing we do know about it is it's powerful, but it's also risky. So in this kind of training, how are you preparing students not just to use the tools, but to really lead responsibly with AI when the risks could be pretty high?
I don't have specifics about how this training addressed those kind of risks. I haven't taken the course myself. It was Amazon Web Services who provided it. Talking to my cadets, I think it was a pretty intense curriculum. They did have two different instructor-led sessions, both 4-hour sessions, and each session was about 3 hours of content and an hour lab. And then they had a final competitive kind of gamified lab at the end. It was another 4-hour session where they practiced with real-world challenges and using AI. So I would assume that some of the training in the instructor-led portions was related to the risks of using AI, how to avoid hallucinations that AI can provide, but also in the Department of Defense, a key thing is ensuring the use of responsible AI, or RAI as they call it. And so I imagine that was also covered in the curriculum.
This is cohort 1 this fall, first time you've rolled out the course. What do you think happens next? Where does it go from here?
So we're hoping that, and this is partially up to Amazon Web Services, but AWS is actively exploring how to scale the program for our spring semester here at Virginia Tech, potentially bringing it back in the spring, but also for 2026 in general. AWS originally intended to expand this training to all 6 senior military colleges across the country. And I think the success here at Virginia Tech with the pilot proved that our cadets and probably other cadets across the nation are eager to learn and ready to lead in the AI space. And we're hoping that it set the standard for what other programs could look like.
Well, always in a pilot, there are lots of lessons learned in the process. What do you at Virginia Tech and Amazon take away in terms of needing to improve or broaden the program as you tried it out?
Well, I think, as you mentioned earlier, I think the demand is there. So if we can scale it up even here at Virginia Tech and offer it to more than just 75 cadets and students. But I think that the big takeaway is really that partnerships like this are essential. And AI is changing the nature of national security, and we need to ensure our future military and civilian leaders can lead confidently in that environment. And I think this program shows how academia, industry, and government can come together to make that happen.
AI is such a fast-changing space. How do you imagine that the curriculum might have to adjust even from one semester to the next just to stay current?
Absolutely. And I'm sure the folks at AWS are right there on the cusp of all that change. And so my guess is that they're constantly updating their curriculum to keep pace with that.
Are you hearing from senior leaders in the Department of Defense about how they view the program and what their hopes for it are?
So far, no, not directly. My guess is at the senior levels at AWS, they are talking to senior leaders in the Department of Defense and potentially at the most senior levels of our government, since it was a key goal of the White House AI Action Plan to offer this type of training.
I've been speaking with Jamie Cogbill. He's Deputy Director of the Defense Civilian Training Corps at Virginia Tech's National Security Institute. Thanks for filling us in on this innovative program.
Oh, well, thanks so much for having me, Terry. It was been a pleasure.
We'll post this interview at federalnewsnetwork.com/Federal Drive. Listen to the Federal Drive on your schedule and your device. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.